Welcome to this session on self-directed learning. Let me begin with some questions for you. Are you solely dependent upon your teacher for complete academic guidance? Do you only follow instructions and complete your tasks? Do you ever disagree to what is being taught in class? Have you ever wondered why and how you learn? If your answer is yes to the first two questions, then probably you need to have more confidence in your thinking and reasoning ability. If your answer is yes to the last two questions, then you're probably heading towards self-directed learning. In today's dynamic and ever-changing learning environment, the ability to take ownership of one's own learning has become a vital skill. Self-directed learning is not just about studying alone. It is about developing a mindset where the learner actively takes initiative, sets goals, evaluates their own progress, and reflects on the learning process. This approach equips students to become lifelong learners, adaptable thinkers, and independent problem solvers, which is especially important in an age of rapid technological change and information overload. I think we all need to be self-directed learners, and therefore, by the end of this session, you'll be able to understand the concept and importance of self-directed learning. Recognize the characteristics of self-directed learners. Identify strategies to develop autonomy and accountability in yourselves. Let us take these points one by one. Understanding self-directed learning, its importance. Self-directed learning refers to a process in which learners take the initiative with or without the help of others in diagnosing their learning needs, setting learning goals, identifying resources, choosing and implementing learning strategies, and evaluating outcomes. It goes beyond merely completing assignments independently. It involves metacognitive awareness, knowing how one learns best, and intrinsic motivation, the drive to learn because it is personally meaningful. This approach shifts the role of the teacher from a knowledge provider to a learning facilitator. Students are empowered to direct their own educational journey, which increases their engagement and builds resilience. In today's world, students should be more involved in your own learning and goals in life and must develop the 21st century skills required to prepare you for real-world situations. Self-directed learning fosters critical 21st century skills such as problem solving and decision making, self-motivation and discipline, time management and organization, goal setting and reflection, adaptability and curiosity. These skills not only improve academic outcomes but also prepare students for lifelong learning, which is essential for both higher education and future workplaces. Self-directed learners, in contrast, take ownership of those decisions and develop confidence in their abilities to manage their education. This shift leads to a more personalized and meaningful learning experience. Ask yourselves this question: do I want to become a self-directed learner or just follow instructions to prepare myself for life? Invariably, you will find that the answer would be yes to self-directed learning. Let us see the characteristics of a self-directed learner. While every learner is different, self-directed students often exhibit certain unique traits. Self-directed learners are goal-oriented. They can define their learning objectives clearly. They know what they plan to achieve. Motivated, they display persistence even when tasks become difficult. They are willing to struggle to find answers. Organized, they know how to structure their time and resources effectively. They are able to prepare their priority list and set time for their activities. Reflective, they evaluate their progress and adapt their strategies as needed. They are critical about their achievements, can identify their mistakes, and can plan the way forward accordingly. Curious, they actively seek out new knowledge beyond the classroom and enjoy such extended research, exploring what is beyond textbooks. Resilient, they recover from setbacks and use them as learning opportunities. They learn that nothing is achieved without hard work and persistence. If you are a self-directed learner, you will see these characteristics in yourself over a period of time. These are nurtured over time with the right support system, environment, and mindset. Let us explore how we can build a culture of self-directed learning in the classroom. To encourage self-directed learning, an environment is to be created where autonomy is valued and failure is seen as part of the learning process. Here are 6 key strategies to achieve this. Start with trust and responsibility. Discuss with your teachers so that they allow students the freedom to make choices. Help in building trust. Begin with small tasks where students can practice autonomy, such as choosing topics for a project or selecting the format of an assignment. Once students work towards completion of small tasks on your own, teachers would develop faith in you and can start believing in students' potential to take responsibility for their learning. Establish clear expectations and boundaries. Students thrive within such structure. In consultation with the teacher, students should be setting clear learning goals, timelines, and assessment criteria to help guide them while maintaining the freedom to choose how they reach those goals. Promote goal setting and reflection. With the help of the teacher, students can encourage themselves and their peers to set both academic and personal goals. Facilitation can be done by reflection through journals, peer discussions, or guided questions. What did I learn today? What strategy worked best for me? What challenges did I face and how did I overcome them? Model and teach yourself self-regulation skills. You would need to learn tools like checklists, planners, and self-assessment rubrics to help track your progress. Request your teachers to model how to plan, monitor, and evaluate learning. When you acquire such skills, you would be able to regulate your progress easily. Work towards voice and choice. As students, discuss with the teacher how to allow and offer choices to students about what they learn, how they learn, project-based research, video, discussion, how they present their understanding, essay, poster, or presentation. Scaffold your learning experiences. Students can work toward it gradually, beginning with guided practice, then slowly acquiring more responsibility as confidence and skills grow. Students can begin with the teacher saying, I do, you follow. Then move on to we do, we follow. And finally, you do and you follow. Model to transition towards independence. These 6 strategies must be kept in mind as you work towards self-directed learning and gain in confidence in your abilities. Let us see what activities can be done in class to promote self-directed learning. While the concept of SDL might seem abstract, practical classroom activities can foster the necessary habits. I have listed down 4 simple activities which can be conducted in class with the help of the teacher. Activity 1, independent inquiry. Project assignments based on open-ended research questions. Discuss the advantages of such learning where students explore a topic of interest, collect data, and present findings. Guidance can be provided through timelines, checkpoints, and reflections. Activity 2, weekly goal setting and reflection. As students dedicate 10-15 minutes every Monday and Friday to write and review your goals in a personal learning journal. When you make this a habit, it will help you once you complete school education and move on to colleges and careers. Activity 3, learning contracts create agreements with your teacher outlining what will be learned, how it will be demonstrated, and when it is due. This encourages accountability and ownership. The Simply activity is a big step towards self-directed learning. Activity 4, peer teaching. Once you master a concept, take time to teach it to a peer or small group. This not only deepens understanding but builds confidence and autonomy. As you work with such activities, you will realize soon that you have set out on a strong footing towards self-directed learning. You can even use digital tools which can significantly support independent learning. When used effectively, they allow for personalized pacing, access to diverse resources, and better self-monitoring. Some helpful tools include learning management systems like Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams to access resources, track tasks, and submit work. Online learning platforms such as Khan Academy, Coursera, or Edmodo, where students can choose what to learn and when. Digital planners and habit trackers to set and monitor progress towards goals. Video journals or digital portfolios to reflect on learning over time. Learn to use these tools purposefully, not just for entertainment or consumption, but for creation and reflection. On paper, working towards self-directed learning may seem easy, but believe it or not, there are challenges and one must know and overcome with time. Transitioning to self-directed learning is not without challenges. Some students may initially struggle with decision making or motivation. Here are some common roadblocks and suggestions to address them. Lack of motivation. There are many reasons for this lack of motivation. As a student, start with what interests you and celebrate small successes. Get a peer review which would encourage you to attempt greater things. Time management. It is suggested that you prioritize what is to be done first, and in that sequence, learn to use schedules, timers, and planners. Once you create your own schedule, work towards following up on it. Slowly but steadily, you would be able to manage your time more effectively. Too much freedom could be overwhelming. This is understandable, and one has to learn and take small decisions first before moving on to larger decisions with the bigger picture in mind. Often you hear students say, I have to do this, I have to do that, and many more things, and quite often these statements are repeated without any step being taken to handle things one at a time. With prioritization and one step at a time, the students would slowly come out of being overwhelmed and start taking decisive steps forward. Fear of making mistakes. This is a big deterrent to working towards a goal. However, you should clearly realize that all make mistakes and that these are opportunities to understand them and grow out of it. People who make mistakes are learners. Caution is that mistakes are not to be repeated. There are many examples of achievers who made blunders initially but learned from them and became what they are today. Michael Jordan could not make it to the high school basketball team due to his inability to play that well. However, he became a basketball legend in the world. Low self-confidence. Students often are heard saying, "I can't do this. It's too hard for me. Other students are better than me. I have no such skill," etc., etc. With constant guidance, support, and encouragement, students are bound to come out of this low self-esteem and thrive. With regular positive feedback and constant mentorship, any student can reverse their mindset and become self-directed learners. Let us look at a real-life scenario on a self-directed learning. In a grade 8 classroom, the teacher introduced a passion project where each student was encouraged to explore any topic they were passionate about, ranging from space exploration to mental health advocacy. Over 6 weeks, students researched, documented their process in weekly journals, created visual presentations, and reflected on their learning. Not only did academic engagement increase, but students also reported feeling more confident and capable as learners. Such examples show that with intentional design and nurturing, self-directed learning can be transformative.
Let us now check how much you have understood. 6 questions with 4 answer choices will be provided. You would need to check your understanding on your own by answering in your mind quickly. The correct answer then will be shown to confirm your thought process.
Let us begin with the first question. What does self-directed learning primarily encourage students to do? The correct answer is A. Take charge of their own learning. The second question is, a key characteristic of a self-directed learner is? And the right option is B. Being motivated and persistent. Let us now look at the third question. A common challenge in self-directed learning is? The right option for question 3 is D. Fear of making mistakes. The fourth question is now being displayed on the screen. What did the passion project case study demonstrate? The answer to this case study is C. Students develop confidence through independent exploration. In the 5th and 6th questions, you would need to complete the blank with the correct option. Question 5. Fill in the blank. Self-directed learning requires students to take dash in diagnosing their own learning needs. The best option for this fill in the blank is D. Initiative. Let us check the 6th and the last question. One characteristic of self-directed learning is that they are dash. We will go with the option B. Metacognitive.
Self-directed learning is not about letting you go it alone. It is about equipping yourselves with the tools, mindsets, and confidence to take charge of your own learning journey. You not only achieve academic success,